Now, we're going to introduce you what? Some new terms. And that will resolve the question you had earlier. We're going to introduce you the following terms. Okay, the following terms. The ES, the EF, LS, LF, and slack. And the critical activities. Okay? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Good. I'm gonna change what? I'm gonna change the projection. And meanwhile, you want to what? You want to get ready preparing a Excel spreadsheet. Okay? Okay. So let's work what we just said on the Excel spreadsheet. I will go very slowly. Okay? So this is an Excel spreadsheet. And how should we begin with? We're gonna begin with a title. Okay? We're gonna begin with a title. This is what? This is the Christine. The Christines spring sales management. Management training program. Training program. Actually, it's what? The project network. The project management of Christine Spring Sale Management Training Program. Okay. As usual, I'm going to what? I'm gonna use bigger font, and I use bold faces. Okay. And then there are 4 different activities. There are 5 different activities. Activities what? A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? Or equivalently, You can call this is what? You can call this is task. One through what? Five. Okay? Okay, look at here. Each activity we record their duration. The duration is estimated one. Okay? A is 2 weeks, B is 3 weeks, C is 2 weeks, D is 2 weeks, E is 3 weeks. Okay? Next, we're gonna put down what? Before I put down the next column, ES. Okay, ES. Now I want to remind you, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. This is given. This is this is what? Given is the model parameters. Okay? So we're gonna shade it by this one by what? By blue. They are data cell. Now, so what is ES? I'm gonna put a comment, new comment. Okay? ES is the earliest start time. And then I post it. Similarly, we have earliest finish time. We have latest start time. We have latest what? Finish time. Okay, yeah, let me try one more time. So LS, it means the latest start time so that the project completion time won't be delayed. Okay? LF, the latest what? Finish time. Okay? The latest finish time of the activity so that the project completion time won't be postponed. Okay? Now we have put comments for all of them. Okay? Let's check one by one. LS, the early start time. EF, the earliest finish time. LS, the latest start time so that the project completion time won't be delayed or postponed. And LF, the latest finish time so that the project completion time won't be postponed or delayed. So this is ES, EF, LS, and LF. Now I ask you guys to look at the project network you draw, okay? And now you need to have the project what? Network to continue the Excel work. Okay? Folks, if you can look at your AON project network, that will be very helpful for the remaining what? Excel work. Let's begin with the AON project network. In the network, we know A and B are the first two activity in the project network, right? So the earliest time they can start is what? Is 0. Huh? Or you say now. You can start anytime you like. Because this is the first two activity what? In the project network. So I fill in 0, 0. Okay? And what I'm going to do next, I know this one I can complete the formula. How I complete it? Huh? The earliest finish time is always equal to what? Early start time plus the duration of the activity. And this is true for all the tasks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E. They are all the same. So I can use relative address position. I can copy it down. Let's work on activity C. Let's work on activity C. We know C cannot be started until both what? A, B completed. So the early start time for C is what? You need to wait for A is completed and you need to wait for B is completed. So earliest time for the successor C is the largest what? Earliest finish time. You need to wait until both A, B completed. So you need to compare these two numbers to see which one is the biggest one. In this case, it's 3. And this means you cannot start C until both A, B completed. Maximum of what? Early finish time of its what? Predecessor. Okay? So same thing happened for D. D is also need to wait until both what? A, B completed. So put max. And E is right after what? E cannot be started. Look at the AON project network. We cannot start E until D is completed. So E's early start time is what? D's early finish time. Coding now. Now, this is called what? This is called forward pass. Okay, this is called forward pass. The yellow shady area, in this case, is called forward pass. Forward pass. Okay, yellow shady area is called forward pass. And what can you get from the forward pass? You can get what? You can get the project completion time. This is project completion time. Okay? Well, what's a project completion time? It's a max. The max of in forward pass, you have ES and EF two columns. And the project time determined in what? In second column, EF column. Okay, so the project completion time is 8 weeks. Okay, project completion time is 8 weeks. Uh, Now I can move to here. Okay, okay, what can we get in the backward pass? The dark yellow shady area is called backward path. Okay, so what can we find in the backward path? Well, this is very important information for project manager. Project manager, he handles resources distribution. Some activity, if they are not urgent or they are not that critical, means if you delay for 1 or 2 weeks, you won't delay the whole project completion time. But some activity, they are so critical. If you delay it, you will delay the whole project completion time. For project manager, he or she need to find out what activity are critical activity in the project network. If the activity got delayed, then the whole project will be delayed. Okay? Now, in the backward path, we can find out what activity they are critical. Okay? So let's start our work. This is a backward path. Okay? What we call backward path? Because we start from what? The last two. This one we begin with the first two. Okay? So we call this is forward pass. This dark yellow shady area we call backward pass. Why we call backward pass? Because it begins with what? The last two. This one begins with the first two. This one begins with the last two. Okay? Look at your project network. You find C and E are linked directly to finish. So what you need to do is you do what? You do range name for this one first. Okay? Formula. Create from selection. The name you want to give it to? 8 weeks. Located on the left column. That's what we want. You click OK. So you look at here, it says it's a project time in the name box. Okay? Now, this darker yellow area we call backward path because it begins with what? Begin with the last two. In the project network picture, you can see C and E link to finish. So this one, you put what? 8 weeks. C and what? C and E, the last two. And the latest start time is always the same thing. Is what? Is the latest finish time subtract by what? The project, the activity what? Duration. And then just like before, you can copy it down. Don't worry about those negative numbers. They will be updated as long as, along with what? Along with our working on the details. They will be updated one by one. Okay? So don't worry about those negative numbers for the time being. In the past, when I teach this, Some students just put A and A directly. That's wrong. You need to set it up to what? The project time. Okay? Next, we're going to go backward. So you need to look at your AOM project network. C and E are the last two because they link directly to finish. Now look at D. D is right before E. Okay? D is right before E. So, in order not to have what? Not to have activity E delay. Okay? The latest finish time of the predecessor D should be what? It's what? Successor's latest finish time. These two numbers need to be matched. So it will need to be week 5. After I change this to 5, this negative number is gone. It changed to what? 3. Okay? That's what I mean. And same thing. Um, B is what? B is the predecessor of what? B is the immediate predecessor of D, C, and D. So you need to match with what? Huh? Match it with its the latest what? Start time. But you should choose max or choose minimum. You should choose the minimum. So backward pass, you choose minimum. Of its what? D's immediate predecessor is what? Is C and D. Okay? So you're going to choose C and D. And you hit enter. So this will be 0. Okay? Same thing. A is what? A is the immediate predecessor of what? Both C and D. So in order not to what? Not to have the work delayed, okay? The project delayed. The latest finish time need to match with its successor's what? Latest start time. C's latest start time is 6. D's what? Latest start time is 3. So you need to choose what? If you choose the largest one, then D will be delayed. Okay? So you should choose what? The smallest one of the two. So this is also changed. Okay? Okay, I create two columns for slacks. Okay? And from Slack, you can find out what activity they are critical, what activity they are not. Okay? So how there are two ways to determine the slack. The first way is you use what? You use latest start time subtract by what? Huh? By early start time. And you use what? You use relative address. And the other way you find the slack time is not LF minus EF. You use what? You use LS minus what? ES. They will give you exactly the same number of slacks as you can see on the screen. They are exactly the time. Okay? And next, what is the meaning of the 1? Look at here. Early start time is what? Of activity A is 0. You can begin now because there is no what? No predecessor. Although you can start now at beginning of week 0. But you don't need to. You can what? You can start what? Huh? At week 1, end of week 1. That's what it means. So when you see slack greater than 0, that means that activity is not urgent. You can have what? You can delay for 1 week and use the resources you assign to task 1 or activity A. To the other activity, they may need more resources. In our case, is what? is B because the slack time is 0. It's very tight schedule. That means if you delay B, you will delay the whole project completion time. So resources assigned to what? To task 1 or A, activity A. You can put them on what? On resources B. Make sure B runs smoothly. Okay? Because this is not that critical. Okay? You can have 1 week delay without delay the project completion time. Okay? So next we're going to figure out the activity is critical or not. Okay? How are you going to find out it's critical or not? Well, we're going to introduce you what? An Excel function. It's called if function. If if statement has 3 different fields. First one is a logic test. Okay? If true, then you go to what? The second field. But if this logic statement give you false, then you go to the third one, third field. Okay? So let's do the logic statement. If this one, H4, equal to 0. If this is true, okay, then you say what? If the slack equal to 0, then you say, yes, it's critical. You return the value. You say, yes, it's critical. But if the statement is not true, it's false, then you return false. It's not critical. Any questions so far? Recording, okay? Now, next one, I just hit enter. So first one, slack is what? 1. You don't need to begin right at its beginning of the project time. You can have it delayed for what? You can start at the later start time. So you can have the project day delay for 1 week. And use resources assigned to B, okay, to guarantee B will everything on schedule, okay? So we find activity B is on the critical path. And activity D is critical. Activity E is critical. Okay? So the critical path. The critical path is from B to what? To D to what? To E. So this is the second way we define critical path. Okay? You use the analysis, figure out what activity in the project network, they are critical activities. And you link those activity together become a path. That is also a critical path. Remember our first definition on critical path is the longest path in the project network. Okay? This is the second way you can define a critical path. You just link what? Those critical activity in the project. Okay? This is also what? Critical path. As you can see, this one is the same as the one we defined before.